Okay, this is the first stretch I'm going to show you today. It's maybe less of a stretch and it's a little bit more targeted at switching on muscle groups, but I really like it. It's really good for when you sat at your desk for long periods of time and you start to get a bit of tension in the sort of mid-back area. So all you need is a wall. You need to have your feet a little bit away from the wall, and we're going to have the back and then the head as well, if you can, flat against the wall. The next thing we're going to do is get the elbows and, if you can, the wrists and the fingertips flat to the wall. Then we're going to start to slide the arms up to the ceiling. We're going to try and get the thumbs to touch in the middle, all while keeping the elbows down on the wall. And then we can come back down. So this, again, is maybe less of a stretch, but more just switching muscle groups on, but it feels really good when you've just been working for way too long at your desk. Sometimes people struggle with getting their arms all the way flat, so don't force it. Just go as far as you feel comfortable, and it's not a case of the flatter you are, the better, because the more you do it, the better you'll get at it, basically. So just try a little and often. It's a really good one for, again, upper back tension, and you just get some fresh blood pumping through those muscles, which tend to switch off after you've sat for too long. Hey, so this is the second stretch which I'm going to show you today, which is really good for stretching your thoracic spine. And this is a part of the body which gets really stiff when you sit for too long as well. Same with if you're a bit stressed or if you're not sleeping well. This is a really, really good stretch for this. I just want to caveat as well, if you do have any symptoms of back pain, you should be seeing a health professional. But if you're symptom free, this is a perfect stretch for you. So we're going to bring the knees up to here, Steve. Cool. So this is to lock the pelvis, so we're just going to isolate the upper back, do all the work. Then we're going to reach the hands out in front of you, perfect. And then from there, we're going to lift this top arm up towards the ceiling. And then we're going to start to rotate the body around. And because that wall's in the way, we're just going to bend the elbow. Good. With the aim of getting the shoulder blade flat to the couch. And then we're going to follow it with your head, and then we're going to come back around. Now, the first time you do this, you're probably unlikely to get all the way around because it'll be the first time you've done it. It may well be a bit tight. So don't force it. Just go as far as you feel comfortable. And each time you do it over a few days, it should loosen up and you should get a little bit better at it. So just do it again, Steve. You can add in the breath out as well as you're coming round, which just helps to open up the rib cage. And then when you come back, cool. And then we'll just do one more, cool. So you're going to feel a good stretch through the rib cage, through the obliques, through here. And again, this is one of my favourites, and it's something I do really often with my patients. Yeah. Hey, this is number 3 in the best stretches of 2020. This is one of my favourite ones. Again, it's really good for if you sat all day. It's a good way to stretch some of the muscles that get overworked when you're sitting, and switch on some of the muscles that get maybe a bit lazy or a bit underactive when you're sitting for long periods. So all you need is the floor, or the yoga mat or something, and we're going to start from 4-point kneeling, and then we're going to start to tuck the tailbone under, and then we're going to start to round the shoulders, tuck the chin to the chest, and what we're trying to do is try and get the upper back to touch the ceiling, basically. So you're trying to round all the way up to the ceiling as high as you can, and then we're going to arch the back and puff your chest out, and we're going to squeeze the shoulder blades together. And again, you can play around with your breath as well. So we can try this time breathing out as I come back up. And then breathing back in as I come through the other position. So this is a classic kind of yoga move. Some people call it the cat-cow. It's a really, really popular kind of stretch, but I really like it because it just works really nicely when your back hasn't moved for a while and your pelvis has just gone lazy and hasn't been moving very well. So have a go and let me know how you find it. Hey, so this is number 4 in the best stretches for 2020. This is a really nice stretch for people who, again, sit for long periods of time, and it's a little bit of a movement that we do, and often we find it's kind of use it or lose it. If you're not doing this movement very often, then the muscles which we're stretching when we're doing this tend to get really tight, and that's why it feels quite good to do. I will caveat again, if you're getting any back pain or if any symptoms, it's best to see a health professional before doing this kind of stretch, but generally it's just quite a nice gentle stretch to do, and you don't need any equipment to do it as well. So what I want you to do, Steve, is this other thing. So if you want to lean against the wall for me, and then we're going to pop the hands behind your head, Good. And now I want you to just slide the right elbow down towards the floor. Good. Nice. So what we're looking for is this rib cage to start to elevate and pop out here. We're looking for Steve to take it nice and slow. We want that real nice transfer of weight through the feet as well. So the slower the better with this one. And nice and tall, and we go the other way. Good. Yeah. So we're stretching quite a lot of tissues here, the obliques, the QL, the rib cage, a lot of the fascia, the thoracolumbar fascia. And it does feel quite therapeutic, quite nice. And it's one of those areas which, again, you don't normally stretch too much. So it does feel quite good when you've been sat for too long. But just go really careful with this one. It's quite a big stretch. Again, if you've got any symptoms, just go really, really careful.
Hey guys, so this is exercise number 5 in the top 5 best stretches. What we're going to look at now is stretching out our hip flexors. It's a really nice stretch for people who are sitting down for long periods during the day, because when we're up in that 90 degrees position now, hip flexors are quite short. And because they attach to our spine, they can give us a little bit of back pain as well. So this is a really nice stretch for 2 areas really. And I'm going to get Ed to help me demonstrate this. And what I would just say before we get started with this is, if you're having any hip or groin pain, it's best to see a health professional before you try this. But now what we'll look at, Ed, is basically from that position there, I want you to slightly push the hips forwards. Yep. And then I want you to create the feeling of tucking your tailbone under slightly. So we're going to be tilting the pelvis under like that. Should feel a nice stretch through the front of your hip there, and then down into your quad as well. And just holding that there, and then coming back. So 5 to 10 seconds with your holds, and then just easing off and coming back into the movement. Something to do a little and often throughout the day.